Medurstand-Understanding Medicine.
I'm Professor Aziz Rehman, and today's lecture is on hepatitis C, from discovery to elimination, a success story. And this is recorded in connection with World Hepatitis Day 2025, which falls on 28th of July. Now, this is the outline of this lecture. Basic facts about HCV, treatment, past and present, vaccine, and elimination, WHO's initiative. First of all, some basic facts which you need to know as a medical professional. You need to know these facts before you can understand other things. This is a virus, and it has got an envelope, and it has got a core, and it has got this single-stranded RNA. It's basically an RNA virus which is transmitted through parental route and goes to the liver, and it stays in the hepatocytes plasma, the cytoplasm, not the nucleus. It was discovered in 1989. It was, of course, present before that. It used to be called non-A, non-B hepatitis, but it was formally discovered in 1989 as separate virus, and that was named as hepatitis C virus. It has got many genotypes, at least 7 of them, and many subtypes, like 60 of them. And it produces numerous quasi-species. That means even those 60 subspecies have mild variation. And it is transmitted parenterally, like very unlikely that it will be transmitted through food, mostly parenterally. That means blood transfusion, needles, pricks, IV infusions, and sexual intercourse, plus also vertical transmission from mother to child, which is extremely important. And it is moderately infective, much more infective than HIV, but less infective than HBV. That means you need moderate inoculum and moderate exposure to get this HCV infection. And once you get the infection, there is immune response in the body. Antibodies are formed, but those antibodies are not protective. They do not give you immunity for future infections. These antibodies are used for the screening purposes. When we want to diagnose somebody, for screening purposes, we do antibody tests as a first-line test. And this virus grows very fast, and it dies fast also, and mutates very fast. And that is why so far we have not been able to develop any vaccine, because it mutates very, very fast. This is the genome. If you dissect the RNA, of course, this is the much longer, but the relevant part I've shown here. And there are genes here which produce corresponding proteins, and these are core proteins and these are envelope proteins. But these are important to us because many new antiviral drugs, these are called non-structural proteins, they perform some vital function which are required for the survival and replication of the virus. So these are called NS1, NS2, NS3, NS4A, NS4B, NS5A, and NS5B. Now, most new antiviral drugs, they target one or the other of these proteins. They are basically enzymes. So that's why they're important. Let's talk about the natural course of chronic hepatitis C. Once you get infection, you have this acute phase which mostly stays subclinical because patients do not develop jaundice. They may develop this flu-like symptoms, and maybe LFTs may be slightly deranged, but they're not usually diagnosed as cases of acute viral hepatitis. And 15% or less will resolve spontaneously. That means their own immunity will take care of the infection and they will become negative. But 85%, that means majority, will remain positive. Their anti-HCV will remain positive and their virus will remain in their body for life. Out of these, 80% will remain patient of chronic hepatitis C with no or minimal symptoms, and they may die of unrelated causes. But 20%, they go on to develop chronic liver disease, and that takes long time, about 20 years plus time. So they develop chronic liver disease. Which patients who are infected will resolve or which will develop this CLD cannot be predicted. So we assume that every patient can potentially go on to develop CLD. So that justifies treatment in every patient. If untreated, about 1 to 3% patient will develop hepatocellular carcinoma, and about 6% they will develop decompensated chronic liver disease. The last 3 decades has seen tremendous improvement in the treatment of chronic hepatitis C. Look how a small tiny seed has become such a big tree. Let's talk about some background. It was discovered in 1989, but the treatment was possible even before that because we knew that there is some virus that was called hepatitis non-A, non-B. So the treatment with interferon was possible even before its formal discovery. Then the treatment with interferon was very difficult. Then somebody thought of adding oral ribavirin that improved the prognosis and the response rate. And then they developed different regimens for different genotypes. For genotype 1, there was 48 weeks treatment, once a week, interferon and daily ribavirin. For genotype 3, which is more prevalent in our country, the treatment was for 24 weeks. But very, very unfortunately, I'll show you very depressing facts. Only 25% of the patient, only 50%, from 100, only 50% of the patient would qualify for the treatment. And out of those, only half would respond to the treatment. And those who would, that means at the end of treatment, their virus, the PCR will become negative. And out of those, only half will remain negative. That means only 12.5% of total population would actually respond. All rest would not benefit from the treatment. Either they would be ruled out from the treatment, or they will not tolerate the treatment, or they would not respond to the treatment, or they will relapse. So I think very, very bleak situation. Then came the era of these direct antiviral agents. This interferon is not a direct antiviral agent. It only improves your immunity against viral infection. That is why it was given even before we knew the actual virus. But once these direct antiviral agents came in, a new era of treatment started. Now let's talk about this virus a little more and the treatment. These antiviral agents are truly antiviral. That means they directly attack the virus and kill it. And they are very, very specific and targeted because they act on specific NS proteins I just mentioned earlier. Typically oral, once a day, and very well tolerated. Hardly any side effect, little bit maybe nausea like flu-like symptom, but much, much less than interferon-based treatment. And there is very rapid clearance. Literally within 2 weeks, the virus may be gone. Although the treatment consists of, it goes on for 12 weeks, but within 2 weeks, the virus may be undetectable. There's high barrier to resistance. Very interesting because, with many antiviral, many antibiotics, there's a problem of resistance development, but these agents are very, very resistant to development of resistance. And we have multi or pan-genotypic antiviral. And that makes our life even easier, even simpler, because we don't have to worry about the quantity of the virus. We don't have to worry the subtype. One drug will work in all genotypes. And there are some drug interactions. So when you treat a patient with chronic hepatitis, you have to consider patients, the other drug patients are taking. Now, a brief summary of these drugs. NS3-4A, these are protease inhibitors. And the examples are, I think I will talk about this Voxila-Prevor because this is currently used. This is not available in our country. And then we have NS5A polymerase inhibitor. And the examples are Declatasvir and Velpatasvir. Both are available in our country and both are used. Then we have NS5B nucleoside protease inhibitors, nuclear polymerase inhibitors, nucleoside polymerase inhibitors, and the example is sofosbuvir. And then we have NS5B non-nucleoside polymerase inhibitors, and the example is this one, and we don't use it anywhere. So basically, out of these four classes, I think these two are more important. Declatasvir or Velpatasvir, one of them, and sofosbuvir. So in most treatment regimens, we use a combination of these two drugs. Sofosbuvir is used in all regimens, but we can choose either Declatasvir or Velpatasvir. Velpatasvir and sofosbuvir is available in one single pill, and Declatasvir and sofosbuvir are to be given as separate pills. But in some countries, these two are also available as single pill. So I think what are the indications of these new antiviral agents? Every PCR positive patient, irrespective of viral load, genotyping, ALT level, chronic hepatitis B infection, liver histology, whether or not patient has got compensated cirrhosis, all they need medication. All are indicated or they have the indication for the treatment. Previously, many patients were ruled out from treatment on the basis of these parameters. And if resources are not limiting factor, every patient, whether or not symptomatic, who is positive PCR should be treated because there are many advantages. If somebody has a comorbid condition which is clearly limiting his life expectancy, that patient may not be treated. So, evolution of hepatitis C treatment from interferon based, then sofosbuvir with ribavirin, then sofosbuvir with the one direct antiviral agent, and in some cases two direct antiviral agent, and look at the response rate from less than 25% to approximate 100%. Such a success story with the availability of these new direct acting antiviral agent, the response rate has gone from 25% to 100%, plus the convenience of treatment and the cost has also gone down actually. So evolution in hepatitis C treatment, the toxicity has gone down, inconvenience of treatment has gone down, relapse rate has gone down, and contraindications have gone down, and development of chronic liver disease and hepatocellular carcinoma has gone down, and requirement for liver transplant has gone down. And sustained viral response SVR 12 and 24 has gone up to almost 100%, 95 to 100%. Convenience of treatment has gone up, indications have gone up, like every patient is indicated, and cost initially was high, but it has also gone down now. Now, the current recommendation based on AASLD, EASL, APASL, and WHO, they have the same recommendation. Of course, I'm not going to go into a detailed indication, but just briefly. So, we have genotype specific regimens, and these are more targeted and maybe slightly expensive, and they may be only for 8 weeks, and in some cases even less than 8 weeks. But I think what attracts me more is these pan-genotypic, because whatever genotype may be, it is the same treatment. And these treatments are convenient because we don't have to go for the genotyping. We don't also have to go to the quantitative assessment. And this is less expensive. Once PCR is positive, qualitative is positive, and we give this treatment. So these are the things we need to know before we start treatment. Whether or not PCR is positive, this of course is a requirement. Only if PCR is positive, only then we treat the patient. Just having a positive anti-HCV does not mean the patient is chronically infected. Some people spontaneously recover. So, and we also ask about the previous treatment. If somebody has taken previous treatment with interferon, or patient has taken previous treatment with direct antiviral agents, has relapsed, then the treatment regimen is different. Then if patient has developed cirrhosis, and especially if advanced cirrhosis, then the treatment regimen would be slightly different. So currently recommended treatment naive and non-cirrhotic patient, any genotype and any viral load, SVR expected is 95 to 98%. You either give sofosbuvir 400 mg plus declitasphere as separate pills for 12 weeks, or you give sofosbuvir 400 mg and velpatasvir 100 mg as one pill, both for 12 weeks only. And at the end of the treatment, you do PCR, and in majority, 95% to 100%, it should be negative. And then, of course, you repeat PCR again after 24 weeks to make sure that the virus is actually permanently cleared. So, treatment naive with cirrhosis, the treatment is slightly different. So, you have two options. Either you extend the same treatment, which I mentioned in the last slide, you extend that treatment to 24 weeks, or you add ribavirin to the same treatment. This is more effective and cheaper too, but this is more toxic. Many physicians and many patients, they would prefer to extend their this two-agent antiviral regimen for 24 weeks. So this is those patients who have established cirrhosis, not decompensated, but they have some degree of cirrhosis. So there are patients who have had treatment in the past, but they have relapsed. For them, the treatment is again very simple: sofosbuvir and velpatasvir plus voxilaprevir, which is protease inhibitor. So luckily we have this 3-drug combination with the name of Vosevi. This is expensive, but in Pakistan it is available with a special arrangement and quite affordable. And this treatment is given for 12 weeks for those who have chronic hepatitis C, those who have relapsed after having received a previous treatment based on direct antiviral agent. So, is SVR12 a cure? The answer is almost yes. So I'm going to show you some facts. Those patients who achieve SVR at the end of 12 weeks treatment, about in 98%, if you follow them up, after 24 weeks, 99% of them will still be negative. Only 1% would relapse. 99 out of those 98 would still be negative after 24 weeks. And if you do PCR after 10 years, 99 out of those would still be negative. So practically, those who achieve initial SVR 12 weeks, almost all of them, about 99%, they remain negative for their life. So what are the benefits of sustained viral response? Number one, prevention of cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinoma. A very, very big, I think, gain for those who are suffering from chronic hepatitis C. Second benefit is removal of stigma. Knowing that you have chronic hepatitis C and you can be infected to others, to your children, to your loved one, is a lot of psychological trauma. So I think you get removed from that stigma. Then prevention of further spread. If you have fewer patients with hepatitis C in the community, the chances of spread to others will also be reduced. Then regression of early fibrosis is also possible. One additional advantage is that once you are negative, proven negative after treatment, you can be actually an organ donor also. Although there are some different legal standards in different countries, once you are positive for PCR, but HCV, most countries will exclude you from blood donation. But since organ donation, organs are donors are needed. So if somebody has been treated and is now negative for PCR, he can be or she can be a potential donor. So the treatment costs of hepatitis C in United States, the one pill Epclusa in USA is available, the 84 weeks treatment, $74,760 US. Actually $1,000 per pill. And that is equivalent to more than 21 million Pak rupees. So very few people in Pakistan would be able to afford that treatment. But thanks to generics, very good quality generics, treatment in Pakistan is now possible in less than 30,000. So I think that is a major revolution. So coming to the vaccine, it's very challenging because this virus mutates very fast and has got many subtypes. All the attempts so far have not succeeded. Conventional vaccines and vaccines based on messenger RNA, they are under development, but none has reached phase 3 human trials. So summary, ladies and gentlemen, chronic hepatitis C is very prevalent in Pakistan. Pakistan has the highest prevalence and still about 4%. Many are unknown. Treatment of chronic hepatitis C has evolved tremendously. Current treatment consists of 2 direct-acting antiviral agents in one pill for 12 weeks only and offers 90 to 100% sustained viral response, and it is very cost effective. And many good quality generics are available and they're very attractive option because the treatment cost is affordable. So it may be the beginning of the end of chronic hepatitis C. We must find missing millions and treat them. Those who are there but they do not have any symptoms. So unless you go to them, unless we go to the community, have screening tests, find them and treat them, I think we cannot achieve the objective of complete elimination. So WHO aims to eradicate hepatitis C by year 2030. Let's do our bit. Find and treat everyone around you. So this has been Professor Aziz Rehman. Thank you for watching this video, and I invite you to join my channel Medurstand to find many more videos like this. Thank you.